Witch in Charm's Way, a cozy mystery audiobook, written and narrated by R.K. Dreaming. Part 39. Chapter 21. The Ghosts of Black Tower. "Here goes nothing," I said, my heart pounding. This was the whole reason that I had come back to Brimstone Bay in the first place, and now that the moment had come, I was terrified that no such spell existed that could save me. Allegra and I were standing at the foot of the Black Tower. The easiest way to reach it had been to cross the courtyard, but obviously I couldn't go that way because of the sun, so we had taken the long way around within the castle corridors instead. Allegra pushed open the heavy wooden door, and we both winced as it made a shuddering, juddering noise that echoed loudly all the way up inside of the tower. "Do you think we should have knocked?" she said. I shook my head. What difference does it make now? We stepped into the base of the tower and saw a set of steps spiralling up ahead of us. A little skittering noise on the stone ground made both of us jump in fright. I caught a glimpse of movement. A tiny ball of bright green fur was scurrying away into a dark corner beneath the steps. A tiny fuzzy creature with a long tail. "A puffle-pong?" I whispered. Allegra chuckled. "That would explain why intruders don't come here. Aside from the scary ghosts, I mean." I grinned. Puffle-pongs were very cute, but were well known for the nasty smell they let out as a defense mechanism when intruders invaded their territory. The horrid smells magically targeted each intruder to be exactly what repulsed that person the most, and so puffle-pongs were very effective at keeping unwanted visitors away. It seemed that we might not have been so unwanted because no terrible stench suddenly filled the air. All that I could smell was a hint of old smoke from the soot left behind by the ancient fire that had blackened Black Tower and given it its name. The walls here were encrusted with it. Arm in arm, Allegra and I climbed the spiral steps together all the way up to the very top, where we came across another stout door which was firmly shut. This time we did knock. Boom, boom, boom. Our knock echoed thunderously within the cavity of the stairs, and probably inside the chamber beyond that door too. Hopefully not in a way that irritated its ghostly residents. Allegra and I gave each other nervous grins. "You're the new owner," she whispered, as if trying to convince us both. "So they're not likely to push us down the stairs, are they?" I made a face. "I hope not," I said. "If they really don't want me here, they would have chased me off by now, wouldn't they?" "Too right," said a high, girlish voice. Allegra and I took such a sudden step backwards at the unexpected sound that we almost fell down the stairs. The voice giggled. We looked towards it and saw a semi-transparent pearly head poking through the wall just above the door. It was a teenage girl with pigtails. She looked about 14 years old. There was a mischievous expression on her pleasant, round face. "So, you've finally come to see us, have you?" she said, looking at me like she full well knew who I was. Her high voice was filled with more than a hint of disapproval. "But you're just a kid," said Allegra in disbelief. "I'm older than you," said the girl immediately. "By hundreds and hundreds of years. You'll never catch me up, no matter how hard you try." "I don't doubt it," said Allegra. The girl turned to me, clearly intent on ignoring Allegra. "We've been waiting for days," she said. "Days and days. You are very, very rude. You'll have to be extra nice to us, or we won't forgive you." "What sort of nice?" I asked her suspiciously. "Have you bought me a gift?" she demanded. My eyebrows shot up towards my hairline. What sort of gift could I possibly bring for a ghost? That shows what you know, said the girl, sniffily. You should do your research if you want to make friends. Sorry, I said. There are plenty of things we like, said the girl. Like cakes. Where's my cake? My mouth dropped open. I snapped it shut quickly. But you're a ghost. You can't eat cakes. She tossed her pigtails angrily. That shows what you know. I had a feeling that on the other side of that wall she was stamping her feet. Just because I can't eat cake doesn't mean that I can't enjoy looking at it and sniffing it. Can you smell cakes? I asked her curiously. Just because I can't smell, it doesn't mean I can't sniff it, she said with annoyance. Beside me, Allegra muffled a giggle. Greedy, said a voice behind the stout wooden door. Whoever are you talking to? A second head popped out of the wall beside the first. This one was a much older lady who appeared to be in her 60s maybe. She had very frazzled hair and a thin face. When she saw us, her eyes opened wide. Ooh, she said. A third head popped out beside hers, this one a younger man with a long, thin face. Seeing us, his eyes went wide, and he gasped in astonishment. Visitors, he squealed. I'll go and make some tea. His head retreated back into the wall. He'd better not make tea, said Greedy sulkily. Prissy won't like it. The frazzle-haired older woman floated right through the wall and stuck her hand out to grab mine. Her touch was icy. When she noticed me flinch, she immediately dropped my hand. Do forgive me, dear, she said in a breathless, wheezy voice. I always forget. She squinted at me, inspecting my face as I inspected hers. She was wearing a great many ghostly cardigans and several ghostly scarves wrapped around her neck. Her thin fingers were fluttering restlessly as if she couldn't decide whether she was pleased to see me or anxious. None of these three were what I had expected. I'm Wilma Brimstone, dear, she wheezed, and you must be Esme Westbrim. Adele told us all about you, of course. I'm glad you've finally come to see us. Thanks, I said. If I had known you were all so nice, I would have come earlier. How kind you are, dear. Ha, said the teenage girl. You won't be saying that when you've met Prissy. Don't mind Greedy, said Wilma. She's a naughty little scamp. You'll soon get used to her. I am not a scamp, protested the girl, and I am not greedy. My name is Georgie. She turned to me. You can call me Georgie. Wilma gave me a nervous smile. You can call her Greedy, she said. Everyone else does. Greedy glared. If she's calling me Greedy, then she can call you Wheezy. We all call you Wheezy, and you know it. Don't be rude, dear, admonished Wilma. It's lovely to meet you both, I said, and this is my cousin, Allegra Westbrim. Brimstone, said Wilma immediately. You'll always be Brimstones to me. You can't tell them what they should be, said Greedy. They can call themselves whatever they like. Wheezy furrowed her brow at Greedy. You're only saying that because you're a Hardwick. You'd love it if we Brimstones all died out. I am not, said Greedy. Away with you, said Wilma, flapping her hands. Go and tell Brimstone we've got visitors. An ominously excited look came onto Greedy's face. Prissy old Prim is going to love this, she said. She disappeared through the wall immediately. Wheezy disappeared back through the thick wooden door and opened it from the inside to let us in. Allegra and I stepped in, and we were very surprised. Hi, Hi, you've reached the end. Comment the code words, "But what was in the golden egg?" to confuse everyone who hasn't reached this part of the story yet. Thanks for playing along.